नाज़रीन महफिल को 15वीं उर्दू कॉन्फ्रेंस में खुशामदीद कहती हूँ। आज 15वीं आलमी उर्दू कॉन्फ्रेंस का इफ्तिताही इजलास है, जिसके मेहमान खुसूसी है वज़ीर आला सिंध जनाब सैयद मुराद अली शाह साहब। उनको खुशामदीद कहते हैं। दुनिया के मुख्तलिफ ममालिक से मंदुबीन तशरीफ लाए हैं, जो कि इस कॉन्फ्रेंस का हिस्सा बनेंगे, शरीक होंगे। और आलमी उर्दू कॉन्फ्रेंस के इफ्तिताही इजलास का आगाज अल्लाह ताला के बाबरकत नाम से होगा। तिलावत कलाम पाक की सादत हासिल करेंगे जनाब शकील खान।
औज़ुबिल्लाहि मिनश्शैतानिर्रजीम बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम अल्हम्दुलिल्लाहि रब्बिल आलमीन अर्रहमानिर्रहीम मालिकि यौमिद्दीन इय्याका नअबुदु व इय्याका नस्तईन इहदिनस सिरातल मुस्तकीम सिरातल लज़ीना अनअमता अलैहिम गैरिल मग़दूबि अलैहिम वलद्दाल्लीन आमीन।
जज़ाकल्लाह। अर्ज़े वतन पाकिस्तान की मिसाल उस चमन की तरह है जिसमें मुख्तलिफ फूल खिले अपनी बहार दिखा रहे हैं, और पाकिस्तान में बोली जाने वाली तमाम जुबानें उन्हीं फूलों की मानंद हैं कि जिनके अपने रंग हैं और अपने खुशबू है, जिनकी वजह से ये चमन खुशनुमा मालूम होता है। पाकिस्तान में बोली जाने वाली तमाम जुबानें मोहब्बत की ज़बान है, खुलूस की ज़बान है, और जिस तरह से हर फूल अपने रुख पे खिलता है, हर फूल की अपनी एक खुशबू होती है, अपना एक रंग होता है, उसी तरह सारी ज़बानों में एक ज़बान ऐसी है जिसकी ऐसी चाशनी है, जिसकी ऐसी महक है, जिसमें ऐसा रचाव है कि जिसकी मिसाल नहीं मिलती, और वो सारी ज़बानों को जोड़ के उनके साथ राब्ते की ज़बान है, और वो है हमारी कौमी ज़बान उर्दू। आप सब शमाए उर्दू के परवाने हैं जो इस आलमी उर्दू कॉन्फ्रेंस में तशरीफ लाए हैं। 15वीं आलमी उर्दू कॉन्फ्रेंस, 15 बरस हो गए इस कॉन्फ्रेंस को, और ये 15 बरसों से बिला तातुल जारी है। वक्त और हालात के मुख्तलिफ उतार चढ़ाव नशेब व फराज के बावजूद कभी भी इस कॉन्फ्रेंस में कभी कोई रुकावट नहीं आई, कभी ये मनसूख नहीं हुई, कभी इसकी कुछ गड़बड़ नहीं हुई। ये हमेशा इसी तरह से अपनी पूरी आबोताब के साथ जगमगा रही है। और इस रोशन और ताबनाक उर्दू कॉन्फ्रेंस के बानी जो हैं वो हैं जनाब मोहम्मद अहमद शाह सितारा इम्तियाज। बाईस 23 साल कबल आर्ट्स काउंसिल में फाल हुए, मगर आर्ट्स काउंसिल की बाग डोर संभाली है इन्होंने 15 बरस कबल, और 15 बरस ही हो गए हैं इस प्यारी, इस खूबसूरत आलमी उर्दू कॉन्फ्रेंस को। मुअज़्ज़ज़ हाज़रीन, हमारी इस इफ्तिताही इजलास में हमारे 2 किलीदी मुक़र्रिरीन हैं जो अपने ख़यालात का इजहार करेंगे। जो हमारी पहले मुक़र्रदा हैं वो बरतानिया से तशरीफ़ लाई हैं, तो मैं उनके बारे में थोड़ा सा आपको बताऊं कि Dr. Alex Ballum, she has come all the way from England to participate in this Urdu conference, and she is the keynote speaker for this opening session. She has done her PhD in linguistics from SOAS University of London, and she has specialized in Arabic and Arabic dialectology. That's called the Ilmul Lahja, languages of Middle East, the language contact. Currently, she is serving as assistant professor and language program coordinator, Institute for the Study of Muslim Civilizations, Aga Khan University. Please put your hand together to welcome Dr. Alex Ballum. आपकी बहुत सारी तालियों में मैं गुजारिश करूंगी डॉक्टर एलेक्स बैलम से कि तशरीफ लाएं और अपना किलीदी मुकाला पेश करें। I would request Dr. Alex Ballum to please come and deliver her speech.
Good afternoon. afternoon. Salam alaikum, and thank you for having me. Bahut shukriya. I'm very honored to be giving this keynote talk, and I'm delighted to be here in Karachi with you. Shukriya, mujhe aaj yahan aane par fakhar hai. And Tauhan ji mehrbani muh ke achhe ke achan jo izzat I hope you will forgive my pronunciation, but I'm here to learn, and I'm very happy to be here. And thank you also to Syed Muhammad Ahmed Shah for bringing us all together at the Arts Council of Pakistan, Karachi, for this valuable and timely conference, which provides a unique opportunity to celebrate and discuss language as the expression of culture and languages. We have speakers of many languages here today. Indeed, the conference program features panels on several major languages of Pakistan. And I hope that you will accept my speech in English because Bad Qasmati, I don't speak Urdu or Sindhi or Balochi, Hindko, Saraiki, Burshasky, Punjabi, and the many other languages that make up the rich linguistic landscape of Pakistan. The linguistic landscape of Pakistan is rich and verdant. As a speaker of English from the UK, I admire this rich landscape, which I have been hearing all around me since I arrived in Karachi. Everybody I meet here speaks at least 3 languages, often 4 or 5 or 6. And this multilingualism is a way of life that speakers navigate in subtle and often unspoken ways. As a linguist who specializes in Arabic and the languages of the Middle East, of West Asia, I have a great interest in the ways in which people navigate their multilingualism. And this is what I want to talk to you about today. So I want to introduce you to something I learned very early in my Arabic journey. In the mid-1990s, I was working with a poet from the south of Iraq who was living in exile in London. He wrote his poetry, he composed his poetry, not in classical Arabic, but in colloquial Iraqi Arabic, and specifically the Arabic of southern Iraq. One line of his poetry was difficult to translate because there was no equivalent in English. Linguists call this a lexical gap. The tricky word was fale. A fale is looks like a pitchfork. It's a spear for spearing fish in the marshes, but it has 5 prongs. Translated with something as clumsy as one 5-pronged fishing spear, because this is far too clumsy for poetry. But of course, the problem actually was not just translating it into English, because many speakers of Arabic would also not know what a fale is. So outside of Iraq, and in different dialects of Arabic, people would not know the word fale, although they all equally consider themselves to be speakers of Arabic. So this is a small example to illustrate a couple of points. The first point is that language and culture are inextricably intertwined. Language is culture. Language expresses culture. And secondly, both culture and language are tied into our sense of identity and our sense of self. And so we must ask whether having different words with different linguistic systems, that is what linguists call variation in language, whether this results in differences in identity. And here there's an interesting question. When one person speaks more than one language variety, whether they understand these to be different dialects, how does this affect their sense of identity and their understanding and their expression of themselves? So there are perhaps 6,800 to 7,000 languages spoken in the world today. But this is a very disproportionate, because a small minority of languages dominate the map. and more than half of the world's population speaks only 23 of these languages. Half of these languages are endangered, and they are under threat of extinction probably this century. So 50% of the languages of the world today may disappear. So I want to move to conclude by talking about the rich linguistic landscape of Karachi. Most people I've asked here, so I've been here only 2 days, but I have spoken to a lot of people and asked a lot of questions. Most people tell me that they speak at least 2 languages, and often here in the city, they also speak English. So how do we comfortably navigate a more complex linguistic landscape while maintaining our heritage? And I want to conclude by pointing out that here at the 15th World Almi Urdu Conference, we will spend 4 days navigating multilingualism. And I want that our heritage and our identity is not just tied to the languages we speak, but also to the fact of our speaking several languages, to the multilingualism itself. There are different ways of navigating the multilingualism, perhaps through code mixing, perhaps through code switching, perhaps through borrowing vocabulary, and so on. So I've spoken briefly